here we go. Starting up another drawing session. Basically, I have to fix the mistakes I made on the last one because I accidentally saved over stuff I'd already done on spam, so I have to do it again. Ah! Why did I do that? I do that all the time. Anyways, if you are here, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Woo. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. You are first to me having to fix this one with Spamton because I accidentally saved over it with Queen, which that's irony somehow. I'm not sure how. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. I gotta do a stream in the morning because this afternoon there's a little Pokemon Go thing I want to do, and then I gotta go get vaccinated, and I'm getting two at once, so I'm a little worried it's gonna knock me flat. I hope it doesn't. But we'll see. But until then. Also, sorry if I'm doing coffee stuff. Coughing stuff is still bothering me, unfortunately. But, meanwhile, try and make some more progress on this. And I know I need to, let's see. Eventually I'll be getting back to, doing comic stuff. I'm still in the middle of that with, the next one with like Chris and Ralsei, and I'm hoping next time I do an art stream I'll be able to do some of that because I'm just doing the roughs for the characters now, and then the next time I can be working on cleans for them when they come up. But meanwhile, we got Spamton and his creepy face stuff in the trash. All these pippies. So many pippies. Oh wait, where's the... I forgot something. There's supposed to be the, all the wires. Okay, that must have been on a separate layer. There it is. Yep, there it is. Okay. Copy. Can I possibly match up with where this was before? That's a dang good question. Should have copied them together. I did not. Oh, I think that's about it. Almost. Yeah, I think that's close enough. Oh, maybe a little bit more. There we go. I think I got that. How's the local scaly potato? She is resting in her little spot as usual. Laying on her shark. Being a scaly potato. Needs to eat her greens. I wish she would eat her greens more often. But she's like, no, bugs and fruit only. Please give me your blueberries. I do not want your greens. I'm gonna try and like feed them to her like just the whole leaves, because the other day I gave her like, I had like a basil leaf because I was, cooking some stuff, and I'm like, Alfie, do you want this basil leaf? And she was like, Mom, 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 and ate the whole leaf. Hide greens inside blueberries? That seems very difficult. I don't know how I would manage that. It's not like a cheese ball for a dog. That seems difficult. Probably do it inside like a raspberries or something, but even though, no, not the raspberries, because those are too large for her to eat. I have to cut up the raspberries too. They all gotta get cut up into little bites so that she can eat them. Okie dokie. We got all the wire stuff going on. There's a little bit cut off there, but that's okay. We can work with that. These dang wires. have sometimes tried to hide crickets in like her salad, but that doesn't seem to work very well. Sometimes she's like, I don't even want to chase them, just put them directly in front of my face. I'm like, girl, you are a hunter. You're supposed to chase your food sometimes. No. Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. I'm working on this, which means we gotta do let's see, actually I'll do that one. Oh, get to it if you gotta. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to. Okay. Ew. I've got lots of stuff to do today, including this. Yeah. I had weird dreams last night because my sense of timing was off because of daylight savings, which I totally forgot about. So I was like, wait a minute. It's daylight savings today. I have an extra hour of sleep. I didn't even know. That's probably why I woke up at like 4 and was like, man, wait, it's still dark out. Thank you so much for being subscribed. Hello, hello, thank you. We are working on Spamton today. I had to redo this part because I accidentally saved over it. Like the dummy I am. Don't save over your stuff. Pay attention to it. Laundry. I'll that in a few weeks. Okay. We got to this part. I'm going to have to look up Spamton's colors. See what we can do for that. Well, that's good. You escaped the time change. At least you get like an extra hour of sleep then. And that's the purpose of them. Imagine. Until it swings back around in spring and you're like, no, I lost an hour. Ah. Yipper dipper. It's gonna get so dark. Like a lot of people are like, oh, winter is so great. I love winter. And I'm like, okay, but there's so much less sunlight. I like the sunlight. I like having the sun up. Makes me feel better. So when there's less of that, it's like, boo. Now I'm tired and I want to lay around, but I can't just lay around because I have stuff to do. So I just have to do it while I'm tired and it's cold out. And that's just me. But I like a lot of sun and stuff. Like, I don't get people who are like, I'm going to work in the total darkness. And I'm like, oh, that sounds miserable. Yeah, I guess if you don't like going out at all as much, it's nicer for some folks. I just kind of wish that, like, real life accommodated that kind of feeling more, where it's like, can I just do, like, 4 hours of work today? It's dark. And I need to go home and curl up into a little ball and hibernate. And drink my hot beverage of choice. Which for me is hot chocolate. That's actually what I put on the answer for, you know, Toby's newsletter of, you know, what's your name, what's your favorite food? I put hot chocolate. So at first I didn't pick out quite that it was my favorite food in the newsletter because it's like, oh, the smell of hot chocolate. I'm like, well, yeah, that's a Halloween treat, kind of a weird one, but sure. And I was like, oh wait, that's my treat. That's what that was. Okay. Or some people put very, very silly things. Hot chocolate is the best. about that one? Somehow. Popsicles. Aw, the stench of popsicles. Question is, what kind of popsicles? Are they like those rocket pops? Like the red, white, and blue ones, or like the red, orange, and yellow ones? Because I grew up with the red, orange, and yellow ones. And pizza's a pretty good answer. Nice fruity outshine popsicles. Nice. One of the things I'm looking forward to going home for the holidays is like getting some of my dad's homemade pizza. He taught me how to make it, but I've never been quite as good as him. He can get the dough very soft and fluffy and stuff like that. So I'm like, I want homemade pizza. Also, I couldn't find like regular made pizza sauce here, so I put a damper on it. So I kind of stopped making it for myself. Oh, I can still have ice cream during the cold months. In fact, I just got some because I was like, ooh, I want some ice cream. I'm gonna get me some ice cream. Although it is decidedly better in the summer than in the winter. Spamton, you should go to the dentist. I'll eat ice cream anytime. Exactly. What's my favorite ice cream flavor? That would be cookies and cream. I like it with Oreo cookies in it. Oh man, there's this Ben & Jerry's flavor recently introduced, which is basically like churro flavored, and it's really good. I like anything with like cinnamon, caramel, sugar stuff. Very good. But yeah, favorite flavor is cookies and cream. I just realized it's kind of buttoned in there a little bit, the wires. Just a little bit. Yeah, sheesh. Yeah, cookie dough is also good. Mint chocolate's very good. I like both of those. I should get some more London Fog once. There's a place around here that makes London Fog ice cream. It's pretty good. Oh, I would like to make fresh churros, but I'm not sure I have the capacity to do so. I'm pretty sure those require like a deep fryer of some kind, don't they? The kitchen is very small. I don't have much room in it. Certainly not for a deep fryer. Oh, just realized the line's going down that way. Yeah, I don't even have an air fryer. My very small kitchen. I pretty much have room for I have room for a rice cooker and a little grill, like, you know, indoor grill, and I'm getting the wrong brush somehow, and a blender. Never done anything with an air fryer before, though. I think my brother has that. But he would be the kind of person to be like, "Man, we have to have an air fryer to have this cool thing." Oh, that sucks when you're broke and you want to get the thing. Ask for it for like a Christmas present or something, and that's coming up. Or generic holiday present. Whichever one applies to you. I already didn't spend enough on that rice cooker. The rice cooker was like $300 because I was kind of like, I didn't look at the price when I bought it. I was like, okay, I really need a new rice cooker. I can't find one. Here I am in Hudson's Bay. Oh, here's a nice looking rice cooker. I'll just buy that. Grab it, get to the front, and they're like, that'll be $300. And I'm like, okay. It's a really nice rice cooker. It's like that, what's that brand? Origins or something like that, but I was too tired to go back and get something cheaper, and I really wanted one, so I'm like, never mind, I'll just pay $300 for this rice cooker. It's supposed to be a pretty good one. It's been pretty good so far. I had to get a new one because I accidentally totally borked the old one in that I poured the rice and then the water into the cooker without the bowl in it. And that ended badly. Yeah, it plays music. It plays music when I finish. Or like when you start the rice, it plays Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then when the rice finishes, it plays another song I don't recognize. Oh yeah, sometimes the Christmas witch is like, please pay my bills. It plays little diddly music. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, then I know it's done. So I'm pretty sure it's the fancier kind. Okay. Trying to figure out how we're doing all this. That's good. That's not too expensive either. Yeah, my issue is just where do I put all my appliances? I have very little tabletop space or counter space at this point. So what I need is a bigger kitchen, which would require me moving, and that's a bit more expensive than just new appliances. I gotta save up for that. But I'm trying. I don't know if so much a design choice, it's just practicality. This is a small little apartment designed in like the 70s, so it's just not very big. It's not too much space. Ape. Pokemon cards. Gotta look out for those. My brother used to collect them and they got stolen. Thank you! We're gonna color him today with monstrosity colors. I'm gonna have to look up his colors because I forgot what they were. Worn out places in the universe as well. Yeah, I think we had to recently, not recently, but sometime like this last year, replace like all the lights fixtures in the apartment because they were pretty old. And we're gonna have that mouse run through, but I think it was just passing through and wasn't actually stationed in my house, so we couldn't find any mouse droppings, so that's good. What's the meme? Faces upon familiar faces? Yeah, I guess that's the thing. When you have an older house, they make a lot of noises. Like, whenever I have people over, they're like, what's that noise? And I'm like, oh, it's the fridge. It's just the fridge making noise. I don't know. I just got used to it. And this goes sometimes. And I'm like, I don't know why it's making that noise. It just is. Is that everything? This? Okay. Try and round that out. Let's see. Will it work? I hope so. Oh. Especially like it's extra weird if you are used to being in the house with other people and then you're by yourself. Like you suddenly become super aware of like all these things you were not aware of before. It's like, wait a minute. That thing usually makes a noise. Okay. Let me pull up a thing with Fountain. Fountain, Neo, wop wop. I need to see his colors. There we go. Ugh. I have to figure out how I'm going to color him. Hopefully I'll figure this out as we go. It's supposed to be kind of like wooden, but also... yeah, 4 siblings is a lot. My dad was one of 4 siblings. Or is one of 4 siblings, I guess. Let's see. This one puts in the purple range. And I'll just kind of figure this out as I go, I guess. Also, computer, I wish you wouldn't make so much noise. I need to replace those RAM sticks since they finally arrived. Knock on wood. Actually, what I should probably do is, like, the masks are also white, and then underneath is, like a really dark color. I get the feeling Spectrum's going to be kind of one of the harder ones to color, actually. Because there's kind of a trash mess down here. Trash mess. Oh, I haven't turned on my PS4 in a while, so I don't remember how much noise it makes. Gonna do all dark stuff down here. Maybe I should do the wings first, actually. Figure out what I'm doing with those. Heck yeah, let's do that. I guess we'll keep the purple and pinkish colors. I don't know. Oh, that's quite a gap between siblings. All my siblings are now adults. But we were within fairly close age range. My next younger brother was 2 years younger than me, and then my other younger brother is 7 years younger than me. Actually, you know what? I bet those back wings are not supposed to be purple. I bet they're supposed to be like the kind of magenta, the same as the rest of him, and it's just the coloring that's making them. Is it? I think that's supposed to be the case. Yeah, I think they're all supposed to be magenta. They look like they should be 2 separate colors, but I think that's supposed to be just like an atmospheric thing. Just looking at the sprite. Yeah, I think they're all supposed to be magenta. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna change that. Kind of a purplish. And yes, I am the oldest. I'm the oldest in the fam. Of 3. Mid-child. I remember growing up, I used to hear all this stuff of like, oldest child does this, middle child does this, youngest child does this, and I'm not sure if that's still much of a thing nowadays. I just heard it a lot growing up. Well, I just realized there's some holes there. I need to get rid of those holes. Get rid of the hole. Yeah, I guess it depends. I guess it does depend on how parents treat you. It also might depend on how your parents are, because like both of my parents are middle kids. I keep clicking the wrong one. Well, I've got so many games I want to try in so little time. But at least FPFN helps me get through some of them. Yeah. Like, technically they were middle child in different ways. Like, my mom was middle of 3 and my dad is middle of 4. But, you know, still middles. I have no idea how the psychology on that stuff goes. Let's see. It's supposed to be pink, but also not that pink. It's kind of a leathery thing going on here, although I realize, oops, I probably need to do my break time here. But I'm just now getting to the coloring, the fun stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Legends Arceus. That looks fun. But I've been enjoying the Switch. Honestly, I usually use it for right nowadays I usually use it for playing Sky Children of Light, which is kind of my MMO of choice. Let's do that with a friend in the evening so we can chat. I should give him grayish teeth for extra scaredness. That'll make your teeth turn gray. Yeah, and actually, what I want to do is I would like to try the newest Smash Brothers game sometime. I haven't played in a long time. Probably not since Brawl, actually. I don't think I played the ones after that. And if the newest one has like a good one-person campaign, I could try that. Although I probably would have to do everything on easy because I'm not super skilled with most of the characters. But I've been playing since the original Smash 6 on the 64. So yeah, I'd be willing to try a new Smash game. That probably would be more fun to play with other people. Yeah, I do gotta try Mother 3 sometime, but that's probably gonna be a ways off. I'm still on Spiritfarer, and then after Spiritfarer, assuming it's done in time, probably gonna do Undertale Yellow. Hopefully it's done on time. At least after I finish Spamton's coloring here, I don't think anything else I color is gonna be quite so complicated. I hope not, anyway. But I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to be doing next after these guys. Yeah, I played the demo for Undertale Yellow a long time back, and I really liked it. So I've been waiting for the full game to come out, and then I will stream it. But I hope it's out soon. They said it might be out soon. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Girl, you turned around. I see your little face. I see it. Yeah, no, the full game's not out yet. But they said it would be soon. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think pretty much all games are expensive now. It's an expensive hobby and they're making it more expensive. Unless you pirate, which kind of depends on, you know, you didn't hear that from me. Oh yeah, of course it's going to be worse on the bigger console. Especially even worse in Canada, or oftentimes like if you want a big, you know, AAA console game, that's easily like $100. $90 to $100. It is a lot. And probably even worse in some place like Australia. Keep being more and more expensive. Kind of the same thing that movies are doing. Okay, but Sans is not really a factor in Undertale Yellow? Did you play the demo? Like, do you think this is like Underfell or something? Like, Sans didn't even show up in the demo. It's mostly about Flowey. Yeah, like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. It, like, Undertale Yellow is about basically the human with the yellow soul showing up in the underground. The demo was just about them in ruins. Most of what they encountered was original characters, which are really cute. Like, I like Decibat. Decibat's very cute. Or some other ones. I mostly remember Decibat because Decibat was very cute. Also, that little vampire guy. Oh, well, say, okay, that's some AUs, but like, here's me doing an AU right now. So obviously, this isn't all of them. Obviously not. There's other good stuff out there. You just gotta know to look for it. Like Inverted Fate I've enjoyed. That's a lot of fun. Of course I'm enjoying Twin Runes is obviously fun. So is Unexpected Guests. I'm enjoying that. I gotta oversaturate it. I still don't like even drawn Sans for this AU. He's gonna be a regular guy. He's just a guy. He's just a dude. Yeah. I'd say expand your palettes. There's plenty of other things out there that are not just Sans focused. Yes, there are plenty of ones that are just Sans focused, but it's not all there is out there. A little bit of yellowy here. Oh, I enjoyed Inverted Fate. It felt pretty, you know, in character to me. Again, some fun original characters like Doge was great. I was having fun with it anyway. I was engaged. And again, a mostly like Flowey focused AU. Yeah, that's true. In Eldritchrune, he is just a guy. We don't know much else about him. He's just a guy. I think it would be extremely funny if my little crack theory stuff was true and he was like half human. I am not expecting that to happen at all. But that would be extremely funny. I would scream a lot, but it would be very funny. don't know. I am a believer in the Sans from Undertale is actually Sans from Deltarune theory. I think there's a lot of evidence for that, and it makes sense. Let's see. Now, how he ended up in Undertale is a whole other question, but I feel like there's just a good amount of evidence towards that. And I think it makes his character in Undertale more interesting. Because now you've got the stuff of like, okay, you've been from a previous universe and now you've stranded yourself here. What are you going to do? Spamton does need to brush his teeth. I'm probably going to make his teeth all gray. Like, whatchamahoo. How am I going to do this trash pile? Trash pile! Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of things that follow that theory. Because, yeah, like, well, I am a believer in that, because that makes sense with what we've seen so far. Could not happen. But I think it makes sense, and it could be very interesting. More trash stuff going on. Just a whole lot of junk. My favorite is Alfie's for obvious reasons. I just like her little nerd self. Although I'm admittedly less invested in her in Deltarune than I am in, like, Susie and the original characters that are new to the series. Like, I like to see them again, but I really want to see kind of more what happens with these new people we've met. Yeah, that's why I hope we get to see some more Asriel and Deltarune and maybe get a sense of like, okay, what kind of person would he be if he had been allowed to grow up and be his own regular self instead of dying tragically as a child. Let us see him. I really want us to call him soon. Please, let us call him. On the telephone. Let us talk to the fluffy brother. Let us do it. I don't think he was considered either older or younger in Undertale. They didn't really specify. He was just the sibling. They might have been around a similar age, but I don't think there's anything indicating that Kara was older. He was definitely at least like a little kid. I'll get back to those pippies later. He was just never allowed to grow up. Just let him grow up and be a weird little college nerd. Well, we know that, boss monsters at least age weird, but we don't know how long it takes other monsters to age. Because some of them, you know, seem to have kind of shorter lifespans, but also some of them, like Garrison has lived an incredibly long time. Even though he's ostensibly not a boss monster. I think it's probably going to be a little bit easier to work that out in Deltarune because, well, we know he was like a kid. I don't think he was a teenager or an adult. He acts like a kid. Even when he becomes like, I have god powers, like he's basically acting like a little kid. So I think there's that at least. But at least in Deltarune we have a decent idea of how old they are, because I don't think like there's any kind of magical stuff going on. It's just they're regular ages. I'm gonna go back and do the masks. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get hard numbers for that. blue on this stuff? They're kind of blue in the game? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get hard ages for Undertale. It's going to be vague. Yeah, I think that they're around 16 in Eldritchrune. That seems the appropriate age for whatever's happening. Kind of that cusp of adulthood sort of thing. We're almost there, but not quite. Yeah, I just kind of put the age at 16 because that's kind of a important age for a lot of people anyway. It's kind of like the bridge between childhood and adulthood, perfect teen age, and hits other things like, okay, some of them have after school jobs, which they probably wouldn't give to a 13, 14-year-old. But also they're not quite in college yet, so 16 seems pretty decent for it. They're teenagers with their silly teenage ways, hanging out in the teenage woods. Yeah, Toriel has a line where she says, oh, you'll be going to university soon too, so. That sounds like in the 16 area. And also that would put, like, Asriel, like, 2 to 3 years older than them. So he's just gone off to college recently. He's, like, 19 or so, probably. Yeah, 15's a little far away. So Asriel just become young adult, and Chris is still kind of in the kid stage. Oh, Asriel. He's a big bro. Let him be the big cute brother. That is what I want to see. Okay, I think this part will be bony white as well. Keeping Azzy all mysterious. I'm like, I just want a little bit of interaction, please. I want to see how much of a nerd he is. I bet he's a big old nerd. Let's see. How do I do this? Why is that something down there? But I guess we'll see soon enough whenever chapters 3 and 4 come out. I don't know, maybe I should make that black actually. But yeah, basically that's why I put like the sweet spot of 16. It's kind of right in the middle there, and fits with other reasons. But yeah, they're definitely not little kids. I don't think they're 18 yet because they are still kids. So 16 again just hits that sweet spot for me. Sweet 16. Sweet 16 spot. Yep, 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 yep. Sweet. Pippies! I'll try to do like... Maybe I'll make them like black eggs with like bright blue speckles. That'd be kind of cool. Again, because I think people, especially if you're an adult, you look back on it's like that cusp of adulthood thing where you're just starting to get opened up to like the possibilities of adulthood. I guess it's the potential part that people like. Covered in faces. All around me are familiar faces. Something, something. I forget the lyrics. Yeah, I think it's harder to become adult stuff if you don't have the resources to do that. Whether it's your own space, car, job, whatever. Well, don't let me distract you too. He's gonna get horrible gray teeth. It's gonna be really gross. Brush them, Spampton! Brush your teeth! Always make your teeth all gray. All gray teeth. Yeah, I think you should at least get a bank account by now. If for no other reason than just be like, okay, here's some savings I can start putting in. That's kind of important. Plus you're gonna need that to, you know, get a job and stuff anyway. Bueller. I used to watch that movie a lot growing up. What is going on with that? It's bothering me. There we go. I did have a... When did I first get a credit card? I'm trying to remember. I did have a credit card before I finished high school, so... I can't remember exactly when I got it. Yeah, you get the bank account before you get a job. Literally just have an account, be like, hey, here's some savings, I'm going to put them in. You don't need a job to get a bank account. Just get the bank account first, then you'll be like, hey, I have a job, now I can put money into the account. Breakfast Club Deltarune. Don't you forget about me. That movie is unfortunately very dated, I feel like. I feel like the problems of the Breakfast Club are very pertinent to people in the 80s. Not so pertinent to today. Hey, appropriate music. A whole bunch of masks from that one character from the Amazing Digital Circus. What was the sad ribbon one? I can't remember her name. Yeah, Breakfast Club is very dated. Still a fun movie, but again, less relevant to today. Gangle, that was it. Like, I remembered, you know, obviously Ponme and Zooble, Kingler, Jax. I cannot remember the ribbon guy. Wow. Yep, some good movies are still very fun. Like Ferris Bueller is incredibly dated. Still very fun. Oh yeah, Breakfast Club is definitely like a fantasy kind of thing. I save it for PS5. I have no clue when I'll get a PS5. I usually would buy the next PlayStation as my expensive Kingdom Hearts machine. And now I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm playing most stuff either on my Switch or on Steam anyway. First, now's your chance. Now's your chance to be a big shot. Now's your chance to get horrible faces all over your body. Yeah, we'll see how it goes with KH4. Admittedly, I don't have the excitement I did for Kingdom Hearts 3. I just kind of feel like maybe Nomura should focus his attentions more on what he wants to do. I don't think he wants to do much. Oh yeah, they've already made a bunch of other Kingdom Heartses. I feel like Nomura doesn't really want to do much with, like, you know, the Disney and Final Fantasy characters anymore. I just want to do stuff with his original characters, which that's fine, but like I don't think maybe use Kingdom Hearts for that. Oh, you'll have to play more than 1 through 3. There's a bunch of other games too. Yeah, Tweewee was fun. It was nice to see Tweewee characters in there. But I feel like, in general, I think Nomura has the stuff he wants to do with his own original characters, and Kingdom Hearts characters aren't really the place to do that with them. Like, basically, it feels like he wants to make the fake video game that was in Kingdom Hearts 3, the, you know, Nox Rectus, or Rex, whatever, the fake video game that is in the Toy Story world. Like, that's what he actually wants to make. So I'm like, that's fine and all. Maybe go and do that. I don't know, I was talking yesterday with friends, and we were like, I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Kingdom Hearts TV show. You know, just kind of start fresh with the same premise and do stuff from there. I think it'd be pretty popular. The best place to play the Kingdom Hearts games is with the packs, though. And some of them aren't even games, like, they don't have the game for... It's really hard to find the game for Days anymore. Or, Coded. Those are just cutscenes you watch now. Which is kind of too bad. Like, I'm glad I played those as games. But they're becoming increasingly hard to find because they're on consoles that really don't exist much anymore, for the DS and stuff like that. Yeah, apparently, the way that, 13 verses turned into 15 was just kind of a mess. And also, Nomura, you're not very good with your female characters. You need to improve upon that. They're the same person. I mean, you want to do a little self-censorship, okay. But, like, they're the same person. There's plenty of other opportunities for self-cest in that series, if that's your bag. So... I'm not sure how that would work, except that it's literally self-cest. He has some nice teeth. He is using teeth all gray toothpaste. I mean, if you like yourself some self-stuff, Kingdom Hearts has got plenty of that for you. Plenty of opportunities there. Kind of funny where those kinds of things develop. Yeah. Like, man, I used to be like into D and Angel back in the day. That was probably also a lot of weird self-cess stuff going on there below the surface that I was not super privy to. Yeah, I imagine Celeste would do something like that too. Wood texture going on here. There's some Mori stuff going on. Okay. I guess I should do... I feel like I can like highlight the eyes and make them even more yellow and pink than, or like yellow and red or something. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I realized back there's a thing there. Oh well, that's fine. He's the happy mask salesman. Or something. The very upsetting mask salesman. Which, let's be real here, that's also the happy mask salesman. Yeah, I guess other games need to try out Celeste, Hollow Knight, even though most of it be me being like, ah, I suck, I died, ah, I suck, ah, I didn't make it, ah, I died. There's be a whole lot of dying over and over on my part. I guess if that entertains you, then yay. Yeah, I'll probably get lost in Hollow Knight. I think this guy ended up getting lost from off. What am I doing here? I'm just the judge. Yeah, there's quite a few Hollow Knight fans on the server. Maybe I should actually do the background now so I know what colors we're doing with like the I don't know. Let me see. This guy's definitely taking a while to color. I think it's about time for my thing again. Do one red eye. And one yellow eye. It was the evil eye. Maybe I should make this a little bit more pink. That's spooky. Yeah, I'm sure that you guys could help me out through it. I'm just, I'm not certain if it'd be very fun to watch me play it on stream if I kept failing over and over again, kind of thing. I feel like that was me with the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog at the last boss battle where I did that like, I don't know, 50 times because I sucked at it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, well, it's fun. Fun Eldritch design to do. I ended up really enjoying like Caddy and Jockington's design personally. I gotta like them. But Noelle definitely fun. I guess I gotta work out something for Snowy still. Okay, I guess I don't really need to look at that anymore. I've got most of that down. Yeah, Caddy and Jockington was really fun. Okay. Guess we'll go ahead and we'll do a lot of shadow stuff on this. Yeah, I also suck at video games. But I still like playing them somehow. Or I suck at things like platforming and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna do this in like this kind of color. Yeah, fine. Through the magic of create clipping mask, it's gone. Actually, maybe I should do like the wires are supposed to be greens, maybe. This stuff, inside stuff's green. I'm trying to think of how I should do this. Maybe it's the other way around? What's my light source? The progress I make as I still fail miserably. It'd probably help if I like put down some ground rules for I'm going for the backgrounds here. Actually, what I need to do is I need to take a break real quick to stretch and get myself orange juice. But I think we got most of the base colors down, so now we're on the shading and stuff like that. Whew. I knew this guy would take a while, but he has taken a while. He has taken his sweet, sweet time. Hampton's like, I'm complicated, deal with it. I'm a complex character. I just realized it kind of looks like, I don't know if I necessarily like all the, it doesn't quite look like, it looks like all kind of plastered to his side as opposed to like actually growing out of him. I might need to change the color back there. That's good, so you can like save right before a really difficult part where it's like, I can't get past that. Like you kind of in rage games, which are enjoyable to watch. I don't know so much about playing, but they are enjoyable to watch. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't much have time for AAA games. I've got too many other smaller games. I'm like, oh, I want to play that, and I want to play that. So many options, so many possibilities. I think I'm going to go back and change some of the body aspects so it's a little bit more integrated. It's just a niche that I like. I mean, no shade against AAA games. I just, especially as I'm getting older. Nowadays, they really need to make more video game for old people like me, and our reflexes are not as fast. I'm not kidding, they actually should. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and I need orange juice. And I need to see the girl. Alrighty, I am returning. Yeah, everybody says Spider-Man is pretty good. The game, that is. Okie dokie. And I guess my big exception is, you know, was a Kingdom Hearts fan for a very long time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I kind of want these guys to be integrated a little bit more. Into the wood base. Ugh. And so I got this ask on Tumblr basically being like, you can't tell people to have Chris use they them pronouns, it's up to player interpretation. And I'm like, okay, do I want to bite on this bait? I kind of want to bite on the bait. I kind of want to chomp down real hard on the bait and be like, no, incorrect. You are bad at video game interpretation. but I know it's gonna be a stink, so I'm like, should I do it? I should destroy. Hello, hello, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, just... Ugh. I'm so, like, it's... Like, guys, it's been 5 years. You have no excuse for this anymore. Why on earth are you still on the... It's up for interpretation thing? I'm tempted to give that talking to. I am. Even though it's never a fun can of worms to delve into. Just kind of like, really? Really? In this, the year of our Lord 2023. I don't know. The thing is, I shouldn't have to reference this post over and over. This is not a frequently asked question thing. This is a basic interpret the game correctly thing. Like, I'm sorry, but in 5 years in, you can't tell that kind of the whole point is that Chris is their own person. That they are not the player, and they are, you know, a separate person that's, you know, not up for interpretation. Especially about their gender. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah, I don't usually like getting into those arguments either. I'm just, I don't know, I'm feeling a little vindictive. I'm tempted to feel a little mean. Especially since I'm pretty sure... part of me wants to be mean because, like, I'm pretty sure this person sent me the same thing on Anon, and I didn't respond to it, because I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to bother. If they're going to be a coward about that, I'm not going to do it. And then they sent it to me again, not on Anon, and I'm like, oh... You either did this on accident or you actually got some balls. I don't know which it is, so... Like, you want to play off that? Like, I can play. But... I don't know. It's just stupid to be having this argument at all. Again. Yeah. Especially, but I think what's especially getting my goat is you're the one being mean by not letting people interpret the character the way they want. I'm like, yeah, it's because you have no sense of, like, actually how to interpret game stuff at all. Okay, that little black stuff's helping. At the same time, like, I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of, do I assume this person is doing stuff in good faith or not? And that's always a tough question. Well, not always, but sometimes it is like, okay, are you doing this to bait? Or are you doing this because you genuinely are that dense? Like, which one is it? Basically, the music I'm playing is my YouTube playlist, which includes a lot of, like, remixes of Undertale and Eldritchrune music. So it's all remixes and stuff like that, but it's like a 1,000-song long playlist. It's very long of different songs. But yeah, basically just music I plucked out of YouTube where I'm like, ooh, I like this. Let's do something for it. Okay, well, he's definitely standing out that way, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to shape this stuff. And I think I've linked this playlist before, but I can again if need be. Yeah, I haven't really used Spotify. Maybe I should, I don't know. Oh yeah, I've got some of those. Again, this thing is like 1,000 songs long at this point, so there's a little bit of a lot of everybody. Yeah, so I'm debating whether to engage and destroy. I don't know, maybe are there still some people, like, I can understand, like, you know, slipping up, you know, because especially if, like, you know, English isn't your first language. Shoot, my bitrate is excellent, so it might be on your end, I'm sorry. Like if I'm going to engage with that kind of thing, it's like, okay, I want this to, like, educate people, because there might be some people who genuinely don't know that, you know, like, hey, this is not really up for interpretation with Chris. It's very clear that Chris is supposed to be their own person, and that, like, you know, that person uses they, them pronouns. Like, I don't know where people are getting this idea that Toby said, oh no, they're up for interpretation, because he didn't, for one thing. And two, like, he literally corrected people during that, like, live stream where they called Chris a he. Yeah, there's a thing with, like, a lot of people slip up. I'm like, okay, whatever, I can deal with that. It's another thing to, like, insist, no, you are wrong, to correct people on this. You are getting fed to Susie. Eldritch Susie. Your pronouns are taste good now. Yeah, like a slip up, that's understandable. A deliberate, like, no, this is, your interpretation is not correct. It's like, I'm sorry, but you actually are just literally factually wrong on this. You cannot use he and him. Might as well be like, okay, Chris, like, actually has blonde hair. Yeah, I know they have brown hair in the game, but I decided they have blonde hair. It's like, no, you're just wrong. You're just incorrect. He leaves a lot of things ambiguous, but not in the case of Chris. Like, I feel like you're missing a kind of vital point of the game when people are like, oh, Chris is up to interpretation. It's like, no, they're not. Actually, one of the big plot points of the game is that they're not. You cannot choose who they are. You spend this whole thing at the beginning being like, okay, you're making your vessel. You get to choose how it is. Nope, never mind. You get that thrown out. You're Chris now. You have no say in the matter. Like, that's kind of the big punch that the game starts with. And I just find it very telling that, you know, again, the thing that is supposed to be ambiguous is the fact that they use they, them pronouns. That's not ambiguous. It's very clear in the text that, like, their friends and family only use they, them pronouns for them. They don't use other pronouns. And that Chris is, like, a separate person from the player. That's kind of a major point of the game. So just, again, very telling that, like, the thing that is so up for interpretation is the fact that people use non-standard pronouns. Not their hair color, not their clothes, not all kinds of other things, not their name, not all this other stuff, but the pronouns are up for interpretation. It's kind of funny how that works out, ain't it? Just burns my toast. And then even if we are assuming that the person is correct and that Chris is, like, up for interpretation. Not in this AU, I'm not. It's like, no, actually, you don't get to interpret. Like, if I'm allowed to be like, I'm interpreting this character as this, and then the story I'm writing is then has them with, you know, they, them pronouns, then no. Actually, I do get to correct people on that. Can't have it both ways. Can't have your pippies and eat it too. That's just logic. Like, I can understand Toby's reasons for, like, you know, not doing this. But on the other hand, I kind of wish he would, in a future chapter, just make it very explicit. Chris is non-binary, they use they, them pronouns, the end. But I guess the issue with that is, like, even if he did that, the people that are upset by the fact that Chris is non-binary and uses they, them pronouns, like, that's not going to satisfy them. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I guess that's how it is, because that's how Toby said so. Like, that's not going to make them happy. And then he'll probably just have people being like, why are you choosing this? Like, in his DMs, like, that probably doesn't already happen. And I wouldn't want to deal with that either. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're the kind of person who already does not think non-binary things are valid or real, then the creator being like, hey, this is how it is, like, that's not going to change their minds. Also, pippies are not speckle. They're pretty pippies. They're the speckle pippies. So to that end, I can understand why Toby doesn't outright say it. But I wish he would. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case with quite a few series out there. Pippies in the morning. Now pippies are speckle. Okay. I guess what we'll do next is some shady shadowing. All that business. It's annoying. But then again, it is quite possible this is not actually in good faith and it's just a bad faith argument. And I could bite on the bait and go chomp. But I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to bite on that bait. Not that strong, please. Hello, thank you for coming. I'm working on some Eldritchrune stuff. Right now we're coloring Spamton. He was proven to be kind of a pain in the butt to color because he's too complicated. But we're doing it anyway. Yeah, thank you. It's supposed to be all scary and spooky. We'll see if I probably can at least get all of his colors done today, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to move on to some other little sketches I wanted to do. Just depends. Ugh, I'm sorry about the train wreck. I figure this stuff would be simple. It is not, though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, if you're being this pedantic about it in canon, how are you treating actual people? That's why people get so pent up about it. Kind of thing. Especially since it's hard enough to find, like, non-binary characters in media. So the few that are out there, it's kind of like, oh yay, we found one. Huzzah. And people are like, no, that doesn't really count. And you're like, but it does, actually. Me with the very few amount of ace characters. Probably why a lot of ace people actually like BoJack. It's like, finally, a character that is ace and is talked about. There ain't that many examples out there. Maybe there'll be more in the future. It does get kind of like exhausting having to, you know, constantly argue your existence to other people. Like, I was at a convention once, and I was doing a few panels at this convention. This is a small convention in, like, where was it? Maryland, I think? It was out by the DC area, basically. And I was doing a panel on ace characters in media. It was me and a couple other people. And I agreed to, like, yeah, it'll be fun. We'll do this panel on, you know, talking about asexual representation in media. You know, what kind of characters we have for that kind of thing, and it would be nice to have, you know, otherwise. And just a lot of the panel was spent having to, like, explain and justify asexuality to, like, some random woman in the back who just did not get it and kept arguing with us. And it was kind of frustrating because we didn't even get to talk much about the representation aspect. Because it's like, now we have to just argue about the fact that, yes, asexuality exists. Here's a panel full of people that are ace as proof. So, that was it does get kind of annoying. When was that? This was a while ago. This was like, good grief, what year was it? I want to say like 2018. It was a while ago. Maybe even before that. No, yeah, I was in Canada at the time. So, yeah, it's probably like 2017, 2018. A while ago. And, yeah, I'm fine with people thinking Noelle's trans. I doubt that's something they would actually confirm in, like, canon, but I don't think that's anything that's, like, people having that kind of headcanon hurts in any way. So, I'm like, sure, whatever. Whatever. Transgender is cute. Although the thing with, like, yeah, transgender is cute. Although the thing with the antlers is, like, she is a reindeer, and female reindeer have antlers. They have them at different times of the year, but they do have antlers. So, it's probably a thing where, like, the entire holiday family has antlers. Because reindeer are special that way. Why you usually also see, like, you know, Mayor Holiday and Des with antlers. I've seen a bit of stuff with, like, Des having broken antlers, which I think is interesting. Or a broken antler. Which is also kind of neat. Yeah, like, if you're going off the assumption that, you know, it's just a regular deer, you can do that, but she's very clearly supposed to be a reindeer. Because Christmas. Holidays, Christmas. And reindeer all have antlers. Yeah, exactly. Like, I have grace for, like, people that, you know, English is not your first language, and, like, languages can be a lot more gendered in other languages. Like, even in German, like, all the nouns are either masculine, feminine, or neutral. And that's the one I know. You get to more other languages like, you know, Spanish and French and all that, where languages are very gendered and you just don't have those gender-neutral pronouns. So, like, that's totally understandable that you slip up there, because, like, if you're not growing up with that language, then, it's gonna be hard to remember, especially if it's not your first language. So, like, that is fine. I have grace for that. Again, it's the idea that, like, you know, oh, you know, no, they are up for interpretation, and you are wrong to say that people can use these other pronouns. It's like, no, that's not correct. Yeah. No, like, if you're, you know, stumbling on that for language barrier things, that's totally fine. I would do the same if I was in a similar situation, I'm positive. That's honestly why I try and, like, give grace on that sense when people misgender Chris, because I'm like, okay, you know, maybe it's, you know, English isn't their first language. Maybe it's just a slip up, that kind of thing. I can give grace on that front. But if you're deliberately doing it and being like, hey, the fact that you're correcting people is wrong, I'm gonna be like, no. And heck, I've heard, like, different, like, people from, you know, other languages where, like, you don't have gender neutral pronouns, like, try and come up with solutions for that. And I think usually the solution is usually, you use he, him, because, that also counts as gender neutral, the closest thing to gender neutral. So, which in that case, yeah, you know, you work with what you can. I think the thing with Noelle being trans, that's right now an interpretation. We don't have canon evidence either way. I think a lot of fans who are trans can see a lot of themselves in Noelle and project onto that, which is why I'm kind of like, okay, that's fine. I doubt we're gonna ever get confirmation one way or another in fandom, in canon. It'd be cool if we did. I wouldn't be object to that, but I doubt we will. Unless, you know, we discover some crazy things about Mayor Holiday. But canonically speaking, no, she's not trans. She has not been confirmed one way or another. Yeah, so again, I think that Noelle can resonate a lot with fans who are trans. Because, you know, especially if you're growing up, it seems like with Noelle, part of her character is that she has been raised to, you know, act certain ways and behave certain ways, and she doesn't necessarily have her interest aligned that way. And that's a kind of thing that can resonate a lot with trans folks. This idea that, you know, you are expected, supposed to be trained to be this way, and then you're not. And I have not heard of Raincode. I need to figure out when I'm gonna do my stretch again. So yeah, not canonical, but I don't have a problem with people interpreting Noelle that way, because again, like, I can understand how that happens. I personally don't interpret her that way just because I'm not trans, so I don't really need that, and I think she is cute as she is. Like the dang and ropa bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. More shading here. Might have to make his eyes kind of glowy, like bum 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 bum. He's watching you with this horrible, scary face. The scariest of the faces. I have the legit seen people that are like, I like Undertale Eldritchrune, but why is I don't like all this, you know, queer stuff in it. I'm like, this might not be the fandom for you then, my dude. You might need to look elsewhere, because a very large amount of characters in both series are some kind of queer. I'm not even sure if Susie is completely clueless. I think that Susie is just kind of nervous about stuff on her end. We've actually got quite a bit of evidence that Susie reciprocates Noelle's feelings, I think. Well, Undertale Deltarune is like, I don't know if it's about love and acceptance so much as it's about choosing to be kind in the face of adversity. There's a lot of different themes you can gather out of it. Yeah. Oh, this is 100%. No wonder it's that high. Good grief, this is dark. Dark, darker, yet darker. I wouldn't even say that Undertale Deltarune is that subtle about it, in all honesty. They make it pretty darn clear. Compared to a lot of things you see out there. Like, multiple instances of it. Kind of going all over the place with the shading here. What is happening? Where is the light coming from? It's coming from your face. Well, I'm hesitant to speculate on Toby unless he actually says outright he's one way or another. It's one thing with fictional characters. I don't like speculating on what real people are unless they themselves, like, they can speak for themselves, basically. If he wants to speak for himself, he will. But I don't really like putting into, like, real people's mouths. Yo, you're queer, actually. Because it kind of treats real people like fictional characters or puzzles to figure out, and it's not very nice. So, maybe he is queer. But if he is, that's for him to say when he wants to say. Which, honestly, I think he's probably smart to just stay out of, you know, a lot of social media talk in general. So, we may never know. And that's fine. It's kind of like hypnotizing. Hypnotizing! Well, and also some of it's like, that kind of depends on what you want to reveal personally to other people. Because that's like, you know, maybe he is queer and his family and friends know that. But the general public doesn't. You should be able to choose when and where and whom you say that to, basically. Based on your own comfort levels. Okay. I'll put the wings behind this stuff a little bit. And do a little bit of erases. Yeah, that's the kind of thing where you just kind of weigh it on your own. For every person it's different. Some people are very vocal and open about it, and some people choose not to be. And there's no wrong way to do that, I think. Yeah, it can change things pretty drastically. Like, I've been watching James Stephanie Sterling for a long time, and they were previously very much identifying as a man, and then over time came out as, you know, non-binary and then trans. So, and now they've been very, very vocal about that. but it definitely did change, change how they were viewed by fans and by the industry at large. So that's always a risk you're going to take. Just depends on if you're like, okay, this is a worthwhile risk for me. Okay. I'm just trying to work out how the shading's working here, in a general sense. So it might be a thing where Toby's either like, I have assessed the risk and I don't want to take that risk, or it might be a thing where Toby is like, you know what, this is not other people's business, so I'm not going to make it their business. And both things are fine. Yeah, again, that's why it is a risk assessment. Everybody has to judge that for themselves based on their own circumstances. Is this a worthwhile risk for me to take? And I don't think there's a wrong answer in that. Yeah, flying's already enough of a pain in the butt. Spamton's gender is screaming masks of death. Were we all so lucky? Yeah, I think Toby has kind of learned to be more quiet in general. I think he used to be a lot more active in fandom stuff. And then once he got, stuff got really popular, it's like, oh crap, that's kind of scary. Let's bow out of that. Which, again, fair. That is 100% fair and probably smart. Spamton's gender is final boss of Phantasy Star Universe. Exactly. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Try and turn these back on. Alright, let's do some rim lights, I guess. Oh, I need to take a break first. Am I open about my queerness? Depends on the audience, pretty much. Yeah, it pretty much depends on who I'm talking to. 'Cause my parents know that I'm ace, and they're fine with that. And so does most of my family. Well, I don't know about my extended family. I don't think they really get it, but they don't bother me about it, so I'm fine with that. But on my socials, I will say that I use any pronouns, but if I'm talking on a government forum and they ask for my pronouns, then I'm going to say she, or they ask for my gender, then I'm going to put female, because that's going to make my life way easier than if I tried to say otherwise. So it just depends. That's why it matters for your audience and stuff like that. Who you're speaking to, why you were talking to them about it. It's kind of thing of okay, I am comfortable being called any pronoun by people online. That doesn't bother me. And but again, if the government's asking me what is your gender, it is going to make it more complicated if I say, well, it's kind of nebulous. That's not helpful to me or them. So I'm just be okay, I put female. That will simplify my life and theirs. And I don't mind being called female pronouns, so whatever. So it just depends. And I don't talk a lot about being ace or anything like that. I'll post my little arts and be like, yay, ace time, but I don't engage a lot with okay, the Canadian government does not make people's lives easier. I'm very sorry to burst your bubble on that, but most governments are about the same in terms of that. Canadian governments may be a little better in some areas, but, not enough for me to be sure, you can use whatever pronouns for me. If I'm talking to, the Canadian equivalent of the IRS. Yeah. I'm sorry to crush your dreams. Canadian government is just another government. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Okie dokie, I return. Well, speaking of Canadian government, I was just watching that Bobby Broccoli documentary recently on Nortel. I didn't know any of this stuff. It was fascinating. That's one of those YouTubers that like can make anything very dense and esoteric interesting. Here's how telecom stock wrecked the Canadian economy. Wait, what? Fascinating. So yeah. It depends on the situation, which is true of a lot of things. Cheesy garlic bread. Delicious. I love me some cheesy garlic bread. Now we got some Joker colors going on here. Why? Because. Spooky. Do one more thing, which is some rim light. Everybody loves a bit of rim light. Garlic bread is the best. I want some right now. You have to give me the garlic bread. Give it to me. Give it to me. I got spooky, spooky spam tunes. Send shivers down your spine. Yeah. And also, like, I'm pretty sure that the whole thing is, like, if you are ace, you're into garlic bread more than you are sex. Isn't that the joke? So if you're excited by the garlic bread, that's just more proof that you're ace. Which, hey, it's garlic bread. I like cheesy garlic bread. I like garlic bread in general. It's fine. It has cheese on it. You all so hung up about the fact that I'm just not a big fan of cheese. Doesn't mean, ew, I hate cheese and I'll never have it ever. Eh. I gotta make his eyes glowy. Swing. Wah. And most people like cheese a lot. I was like, I'm not very big on it. Like my little brother, when we were growing up, he would, like, eat those packets of string cheese you could get, and I was always like, meh. Your worldview's been shattered. Sometimes people are just not very big fans of cheese. Shocking, but true. Yeah, it's not like I don't like cheese at all. I like cheese on some things. Cheesy garlic bread is a place for my cake. Cheese is great. But I'd say the part that makes garlic bread so good is the garlic part, not really the cheese part. What if you said you're not a big fan of chocolate? Some people are not. That is fine. Big whoop. More chocolate for me then. I don't really like dark chocolate. I like white chocolate though. When most people are like, ew, white chocolate. I'm like, I know it's not real chocolate. I don't care. I will have your white chocolate. Okay. And I think I'll do it for Spampton. For our good pal, buddy, friend, Spampton. What a great guy. Seas candy! I have a big old box of Seas candy that my mom sent me in the mail. It's all the chocolate suckers, like I have the butterscotch and chocolate and vanilla suckers. So I've been working through that. And I always appreciate being sent Seas candy because it does not exist in Canada. So I'm like, Mom, you can send me some Seas candy for my birthday or Christmas or whatever. And she'll send me a big box of Seas candy. I mean, Seas candy isn't the only one that does that. Like here, it's Purdy's, I think it's called. We have Purdy's chocolate, and they do the same thing, where you can get a lot of really nice chocolate, and it's, you know, you can get some free samples and all that kind of stuff. Where is, I think the base was the one. So yeah. Like, we have Purdy's here. We just don't have Seas. I'm like, oh, I really like Seas, so please send me some Seas candies. The line. But yeah. So now I have a big box of Seas suckers. Which the lollipops, the suckers are the best ones. The chocolate ones. Or the butterscotch ones, rather. Cinnamon butterscotch. All that. I think there's like a little bit more here that I want to get rid of. Okay. I think that'll do it for us. Spampton! Spampton! In the morning. Alright, what can I do? What else did I have on my list of things to draw? I wrote this down somewhere. Oh, I did want to do a little Eldritchrune thing of like Susie eating pumpkins. But that might take a little long. We'll have to get to that eventually. Free sample. Okay, I think I can do at least one with like, back to that one. We'll do a couple more things before I stop. Yeah, I do like me some Seas candies. They are good. Butterscotch lollipops are definitely the best. Yeah, I want to do the Susie eating the pumpkins thing, but I think that might be like a couple panels of a comic, which I need to think out what I'm going to write for them. I don't think I have time for that right now. Yeah, I think it was a fairly new thing that they just did this year. He's doing the Naruto run. Yeah, that's not the eraser I want. Yeah, I just did not have time to do much of them because I was like, I'm posting this comic, this big one. I don't have time to do a lot of trick-or-treat doodles. Sorry, bye-bye. Do regular Rosé. Oh, I've gotten sexy bot asks too. I just delete them. They get deleted. I do not have time for you, sexy bots. Cute. Cute, cute. Hopefully you got tricks and treats all around. Yeah, I think it was just a new thing. This year, people were like, oh, this is kind of cute. So you either did it or you didn't. Yeah, I've been getting that too. I've been getting some porn stuff and like just regular tags I follow. It's a constant arms race against the bots. It's very annoying. Oh, thank you. Gotta do them quick poses. It's because I do storyboards where you have to draw a bajillion things very quickly. Oh, he's doing the Naruto run. The arms... Or wait, maybe that's supposed to be like your arms are lower than at your sides? I should probably look that up, actually. I should use my shoulder more when I draw. Naruto run. Okay, no, they are spread back that way. Okay, good. I thought they were more at the sides, but no, they're back. Okay. I got it correct. Yay. Hey, Chris, it makes you go faster. He's such a silly belly. I draw very large. This is like an 11 by 17 image. I draw very, very large. That does kind of help me use my shoulder more. Exactly. We need to run. We can move faster than the enemy bullets. Exactly. It helps you dodge better. I need to learn how to make Chris sillier in my fan works. Because Chris is actually very much a silly. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream. Always appreciate y'all being here. Wait, do I have an image in my mind of what the thingy is supposed to look like? Yes and no, kind of. Sometimes I'll have a very good idea of what I want to do, but oftentimes it's really hard to actually translate that onto the paper. So it's sometimes easier to just have like a rough idea of what I want, and it kind of comes out as I'm drawing. Go regular, Chris. I've been doing so much like Eldritchrune that I'm like, oh wait, yeah, regular versions. But no matter what I'm doing, I always draw the head too big. Some things are just universal constants. Yeah, lurking is all good. Like, Rouse, are you having fun? He's like, yes! Honestly, the way that you learn how to draw fast is just draw a lot. Draw a lot and 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 a lot. And eventually, like, your muscle memory will just kick in so much that, like, you don't even care. and you're just going. So if you want to draw fast, just practice a ton. Draw very frequently. And yeah, there are some techniques to get more efficient at it. Honestly, your stuff is pretty decent so far. Seems like you're getting a handle on, like, you know, how to draw stuff quickly. Something feels weird about their proportions here. I don't know, maybe it's the leg needs to be a little bit longer. Like that. There we go. Are you having fun? Yeah. The key to doing something faster is just do it a lot. I definitely slow down on things that I don't know how to do because I'm constantly like, how do I do this? I'm doing it wrong, I don't know. Where somebody's done a lot, like, what is it? Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Oh, yeah, I could use me a YouTube downloader with how much I listen to this stuff, and YouTube is a big old mess to use sometime. Now we have a... Susie in the corner. Yeah, sure. Just walk me through steps on how to do that, and I'll probably make good use of that. Honestly, most of what I listen to now is off of YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, link me to that later. No, it doesn't. Oh, make Susie a little bit closer to that. So, floating Susie head yelling at you. Yeah, it's fun to do stuff people at parties as well. It is a fun time! Alright, what else did I have down here? Tutorial on snouts. And there's one other little Rouse doodle I can throw in. The other ones might take a little bit more time. I'm not sure what face name we're gonna have. He's telling you to go do your homework. Don't neglect your schoolwork. Oh, so you're such a silly little goody two-shoes. That's just silly. He's just a little guy. Yeah, I'll probably just do like the lines and fills on these two things real quick, and then we'll call it a day. I'll get to the pumpkin one later. 'Cause I also need to get lunch for myself, and still make muffins. And then the other thing to do are, one, I'm going to do the Pokemon Community Day, since that's today. And then two, I need to go get my vaccinations. Both of them at once. I really hope that I'm not just knocked flat by that. Please, body. Be kind to me. Do not knock me flat. That would be sad. For some reason, this drawing feels kind of bad, but oh well. You can't all be winners. It happened. It happened. I'm still slowly working this orange juice. Okie dokie. Now at least be two other little doodles that we'll have done. And hopefully next time I do a art stream, it'll be for Eldritchrune comics, so we can get back to I'll say Chris. Go back over here to the glasses later. I love the Dreamer's ears. I just want to pet their ears. They seem so soft. I bet they're super soft. Soft, fluffy ears. Perfect for petting. Oh, gosh, I got a thing on my... Oh, what is this? I swear I can't draw one line without just bumping into another. Wow. Rase says, do your homework. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Where my teacher voice comes in. Teacher voice, do your homework. I don't even like homework and you should do it. Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing handmade bubbles now for Eldritchrune. It's making my life harder. Oh well. Maybe I should have. Mouse doesn't need to go to school. He is the school. He's in the school. His home is in the school closet. He's at school all the time. Ralsei is committed to education. That's where his house is. What do I used to draw? I usually work in Photoshop. I'm actually paying friggin' money to Adobe. Fool that I am. But I've been using Photoshop since, like, version 4, like 20 years ago, so at this point it's kind of like, it's easier for me to just do that. Yeah, a bit salty about Adobe, but, yeah, I use Photoshop usually. Although for work, I usually use Storyboard Pro. So that's another one I use. I probably should try Psy or Clip Studio Paint at some point. Just for variety's sake, but I'm used to this, and this is where all my brushes that I like are, and all that stuff. Would I recommend Photoshop? You can put up with, if you can either pirate it or put up with the fees for it, sure. There's a reason that it's a pretty industry standard one. It's definitely got all the tools you need to draw stuff. Again, I like, the primary reason I use a lot of Photoshop is just brushes for it are what I want. So if you can get access to it, sure. But if you can't get access to it or it's too expensive, there are other options as well. Just dealing with Adobe is the not fun part. Although if you are just learning to draw, like if you're just starting out, you may not necessarily need to start with Adobe. You can start with some other programs if you're just kind of like testing the waters. Yeah, GIMP is okay because that's like a free program you can start with. Like if you're just starting out, get yourself something free. For free! Yeah, there's different options out there depending on like what you can pay for and what you're used to, what is available to you. I use Photoshop again because I've literally been using it for like 20 years. I write off the cost for it as a tax thing, and it's got the brushes I want, so I don't mind using it. Ugh, that's annoying. You should just be able to keep the old version. I will say I'm extremely annoyed whenever Adobe's like, you should try our AI tools. Have you tried our AI tool yet? And I'm like, no. And shut up and get out of my face. Forever. I feel like if I'm paying to use you, I should have the ability to like turn off your stupid advertisements. I'm already giving you money. Monthly. What more do you want from me? So yeah, Adobe as a company sucks. Sucks a lot. But there's a lot of people that use this program, so. That is why I'm using it. It is industry standard. And also, it again depends on what you're trying to do. Like, if you're trying for very specific things, then some other programs might be better. Another one I used for a while was Sketchbook Pro. I had trouble trying to re-download it though, so I don't know what's happened to it. But last I checked, that one was also free. And what I'm usually using is Storyboard Pro, which is good. But that one is definitely a professional program. That costs a lot of money. And it's specifically for storyboards, not just for general drawing. Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you so much. I love drawing him. He's such a cutie. What the? Oh. I'm gonna be very sad if something happens to him. I'm pretty sure something is gonna happen to him. But in the meanwhile, he's a cutie! Yeah, I really need to do more drawing on paper more often. I haven't done it a very long time because I'm just like, I'm so used to doing digitally now, it's just faster. But I used to draw on paper like all the time because I didn't really have, any options otherwise. I don't think Ralsei is going to betray us all or anything like that. I just think that something's going to happen to him and we're going to have to say goodbye to him. Especially if he does have a Chris's soul. I just think it's going to be I think that the tragedy of what the, like, people are like, oh, the game's going to end everybody dying and stuff. Like, no. I don't think that. I think the tragedy that we're going to get is we're going to have to say goodbye to all these people that we recruited in the dark world and move on to the real world, and that's going to include Ralsei. So that is where I think the tragedy is going to come in. We're going to make all these cool friends in the dark world, and then in order to make things right, we're going to have to say goodbye to them, and that's sad. Oh, we got to do his glasses, that's right. He can't see without his glasses. Drawing a circle is the hardest thing. What kind of hardware do I use? I draw on a Cintiq. I forget which one. I think it's like a 22-inch. Not the 22 HD, but just like regular 22. But yeah, I draw directly on tablet. And I've been doing that for quite a while, mostly because I used to draw on like an Intuos or something like that, and eventually I switched to a Cintiq. One, because that's kind of industry standard, that's what I use at work anyway, and two, it's just faster and feels more comfortable to you know, draw directly on the screen as opposed to having that kind of disconnect between what your hand is doing and what you're seeing with your eyes. But I can understand that another bit of a barrier because screen tablets and especially Cintiqs are very expensive. They're practically a whole nother computer expensive. But at least for myself, it makes me go fast. Like Naruto Run, but for drawing. So I get that sensation of what I'm doing with the pen is directly correlating to, you know, what I'm seeing on screen. Yeah, like, if you do, it takes some practice to get used to doing that. And I feel like you drawing directly on the screen with a Cintiq just makes that faster because you don't have to do that disconnect. Okay. Rasse says, do your homework. Spamton says, give me your soul. Bah. That's cool. That'd be really cool if you get one. Because then you can practice with it and hopefully get better with it. But yeah, I've been using these for years at this point, so I'm just super duper used to doing it on the tablet. But just keep in mind, as I'm like, oh, I'm using this stuff and this stuff, I'm literally a professional. This is stuff I use for my job. So don't fret if you're like, oh, I can't get that stuff, it's too expensive. Like, yeah, this is professional grade stuff. I literally do it for my job. So it's fine to start out with other things, other tablets, other programs, because that's what I did when I was younger, growing up. I just had spent literally years practicing on it. So that's why it goes faster for me this way. Okay, $900 for a giant Cintiq actually is cheap. That's a steal. I'm pretty sure this Cintiq was about $2,000 when I got it new. Like I said, like, this is pretty much the cost of another computer. But again, this is professional grade equipment. This is the kind of thing that I would be using at work, or similar to the kind of thing I'd be using at work. So that is why I invest that much money into it. Because I do it for hobby and for my job. And also, man, I wish rent was $900. Good grief. Wouldn't that be nice? Couldn't be me. Could not be me. And probably never be me in the future. Not unless I get extremely lucky with a mortgage or something, which unlikely. But yeah, phew. We at least finished Spamton. He's probably one of the most complicated characters for this, so that's good. We've got a couple other doodles done. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Where do people get this money? They have jobs. Like, that's where they get the money. They have jobs. When you have a full-time job, you're hopefully making enough to get all your expenses paid and other things you want to do. So that's how you do it. You get a job. Anyways, but yeah, this will be it for today. I gotta get myself some lunch, take care of Alfie's, and then again I have to go get vaccinated. Wish me luck that I do not fall over and go kaput from all the vaccines into my arm at once. Oh no. But yeah, next time I do an art stream, it will hopefully be more Eldritchrune comics, because I'm working on those slowly. And obviously more Spirit Fair on Friday. And yeah, so I am done for today. And thank you all so much for joining me. And I will see you all next time. Alrighty, see you later.